You're the person that wants the quick fix. You're the person that wants to jump on the latest fad, the latest trend, because you want to get the results. But here's the thing. The nutrition plan that you get, the program that you go on, is absolutely going to fail unless you deal with the root cause as to why your nutrition sucks in the first place. This is exactly what happens to many people when it comes to nutrition. So you may go to the gym already. Maybe you're already on some form of a fitness journey, but your body stopped changing, right? Like there's only so many weights you can lift or so many distances you can run before your body doesn't start to showcase what it is that you're doing. The reason is because you're missing some elements. The key element that most people don't want to address and that make the biggest difference is nutrition, sleep, and stress. Those are the three key elements. And you don't want to deal with those three key elements because guess what? There's a lot of sacrifice that comes with those three key elements. So a trend, a diet, a fad, the reason why they work is because they put you in a calorie deficit. It doesn't matter what they're made of. It doesn't matter if they're carnivore, keto, Whole30, Atkins, whatever is out there. At the end of the day, all of these diets put you in a deficit. So of course you're going to get results. Of course your body's going to actually start to showcase things. What they don't do is once you stop them, once you actually get off them, you regress, you go back to the start, because what they didn't do is deal with the root cause of what your problem was in the first place. It's your behavior. It's your habits. It's what you've been doing prior to those diets that you will probably go back to. You know why? Because your brain has been wired to do something for a very long time. You have been conditioning yourself to continue that thought pattern, right? Whether maybe food is a reward system for you, or maybe that you've been using food as a way to sabotage yourself. It doesn't matter. The reality is that here's what happens to people. They'll try a fad, they'll do a 30-day fix, and then they'll go straight back to the start. And the reason for that is because you didn't deal with why the behavior was bad in the first place. This is part of the reason. And so anyone can give you a food plan. Anyone can give you a program. Anyone can tell you what to eat. At the end of the day, you need to break the chain. Breaking the chain of what got you there in the first place is the number one thing that you need to do, because your stress affected your hormones, and that affected your sleep, and then it affected your workouts, and then it affected the way that your body operates, and then you were plateauing, and then you were slow, and then you're now at a point where you're like, I don't know where this extra weight came from. I don't know where this extra fat came from. Well, it came from you not addressing all of the key components that you truly need to address. Now, the key components are tough. The reason why they're so hard, honestly, is because you have to do a lot of work. At the start, the effort is pretty high. And anyone who's honestly real with you will tell you this, that really addressing your sleep requires like having a night routine, having something to actually prepare you for sleep. And to enhance your sleep, you've got to get quality sleep. You've got to go into a deep sleep for as long as possible, right? That's not easy, because then you're going, okay, well, what's my night routine look like? How many responsibilities do I have? Do I binge watch TV? Am I screen sucking on my phone? That's what's happening. You're going to have to sacrifice that. And then from there, you're going to have to look at your stress. But hold on, how do we manage stress? You have stress in your life, and some stress is good. People won't do high intensity training because it raises their cortisol levels, yet they won't change the stressful environment they're putting themselves in to raise their cortisol levels. One is a bunch of bullshit. The other one is. So it's up to you. You have to just change it. Right? You can't change the way that you're doing certain things, and you can change the way that you react to certain things. So when it comes to stress, just tackle it. Have manageable and strategic ways for you to tackle your stress. Maybe this is you doing some meditation. Maybe you do talk therapy. Maybe you write things down. Maybe you do breath work. Maybe you do yoga. Maybe you have some quiet time. Whatever it is. But you have to manage your stress, because your stress is probably causing so many things to go straight out the window. And then the last component, which is probably one of the hardest, is going to be your nutrition. And food isn't a reward, nor is it going to be a punishment. Food shouldn't do that to you. Food should be a nourishment for your body. But the reason why you don't want to nourish your body with it is because you like it so much, right? You're a foodie, or whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, right? So some people have that approach to things, but in reality, that's not actually going to help you. So when you're tackling your nutrition, you just have to understand that if you want your body to perform better, if you want it to feel better, if you want to show up better, then you have to feed yourself properly. And this is part of why I created a program, and it's called Eat Clean, Get Lean, and I intake people. Every month I intake people, and this is actually when I intake people. This is the intake of the month where I bring people into the program and I make sure that we are tackling everything: the stress, the sleep, the nutrition, and also the training. Like getting everybody to understand that you got to align these pillars. These are really core pillars to your health. So this is why when I bring people in, I have to understand where they're at, where they've been, and where they're trying to go. And today is the first day of the intake. So if you are interested, what you can do is you can comment in the comments below that you're interested, or what you can do is you can send me a message on Instagram. It's at SnezV, SNEZV. You can send me a message there telling me that you're interested. I will break down the program for you. I'll break down how it works. This is once a month that I intake people. The reason for that is because I want you to know that this is a coaching program, and I expect that you're going to show up for this program ready to change, not ready to do a little bit here and a little bit there. I'm expecting you to come into it to actually go and take action to the things that I'm going to give you, get the results, love what you see, love how you feel, and then you're going to carry those over forward, right? So if you are interested, intake opens today, and you just need to reach out if you're interested in the program, and I will give you all the information. Now, when it comes to really tackling all of these pillars, you have to understand the value, right, of your circadian rhythm. So the value of this is basically going, okay, when do I have the most amount of energy in the day? When am I the most creative? When am I the most tired? When can I get some sunlight? Like all of these are going to affect your HRV, basically your heart rate variability. People are talking about this as soon as you go and wear a Whoop band, an Oura ring, even your iWatch, doesn't matter. Everyone's talking about heart rate variability. The reason why heart rate variability is so important is because it tells us about how we are responding and how our body is responding to stress. So if you're responding poorly, then you can bet that you're probably going to feel the effects of that, right? You're going to get fatigued. You're going to get tired very easily. You're not going to sleep very well. You're going to get kind of irritated very quickly. Things like that are going to happen for you. So this is why it's important, if you are wearing a device, to actually listen to the device. It's telling you, hey, you got to address some stuff here, right? Maybe you got to start doing some meditation or breath work because you're really you're all over the place, right? Your clock, your body clock is all over the place. You want to try to regulate this as much as possible. Now, when I do, and what works for me may not work for you, but I always wake up at the same time every single day, Monday to Sunday. Then I always go to bed in the same window every single day, Monday to Sunday. When I get up, I always drink a big tall glass of water, at least 20 ounces. So for girls, it should be 20. For guys, it should be about 30. And then after I've had that, I won't drink coffee for the first 30 minutes of waking up. Some people will say don't drink coffee for an hour to 90 minutes to 2 hours, whatever. For me, I can do it within 30 minutes and I'm fine. It doesn't affect me during the day. It may affect you if you feel like you get those slumps in the middle of the day and you're really good about your nutrition and you're good about your sleep and you're good about your training, then it could be that the caffeine is actually causing that slump. But again, don't just tackle and be like the whole oh my gosh, it's my caffeine. Instead, just know that it could be other things. So first, tackle the other things before you change when you're getting coffee. The worst thing that you can do is wake up and put coffee in your mouth first thing in the morning. Got to make sure that you put water in. Now, after that, I learned something by reading something. That's my way of learning about the world, observing the world, becoming more aware. And then I write something to learn about myself. This is also where I can learn about myself, observe myself, and become more aware. After that, whatever my message is, I go and basically give that out to the world. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. You'll see what I mean there. I always like to share my way of thinking, how I've kind of observing things, how I'm seeing things, and I like to just share my experience, right? You don't have to take it. It's just my experience. And then from there, I always go into having something before my workout. I'm not a fan of working out fasted. I'm not a fan of doing that because to me, I need to perform well. I like to perform at 70%, 80%, 90%, sometimes 100%. And I need some fuel in my body before I do that. So I will eat something, then I will go to the gym, and then I'll hit the gym. After that, that's when I start working with my clients. I start working on programming. I start working on content, as you're seeing right here. I start doing all that other stuff. And I'll do that all the way till, halfway through the day. I'll pause, do breath work, get back into it. Towards the end of the day, I will then stop again. I'll do some form of conditioning, which means that I'm actually working through heart rate zones. Then after that, I'll wind down. Now, the wind down is extremely important. I won't go on screens. I don't like them. If I do, for whatever reason, I'll wear blue light blockers. And then after that, I'm really just winding down. I'm going to bed, and it's pretty much like that. Now, my life is different. That's my life. That's not your life. Everyone has a different level of responsibility. Their calendar is different. Their schedule is different. Everything is different. So you have to know how to apply something that's going to work ultimately for you. And this is a game changer. I can't stress it enough. Get a routine. Figure it out. Figure out what is going to be the absolute best for you to start your day, continue your day, finish your day, so you have enough energy. That's part of my program as well. The reason why I love doing this is because I can actually get someone to optimize their energy from their workouts to their jobs to their families and responsibilities to everything in between. Now, it's not easy. It's a lot of work, but for me, it's all about creating a long-term solution. And I want to improve the quality of life of people. I'm not going to give you a short-term fix. I'm not going to give you a fad. It's not 30 days to freedom. It's none of that shit. It's like real life stuff, right? Like this is the thing that helps you create a much better sense of self, much better sense of living as well, right? You got to look at this. It's not just about living longer. It's actually about living stronger too. You can't just go and think that you're just going to go and do something for now to live a little bit longer later. Like you got to actually start to enhance what your life looks like today. That's where it's at. That's the game changer. So whatever it is that you're going to do something. Do something that's going to enhance you, whether it is just creating a routine. Start there, right? Start with a routine. Then start to bring in some habits. Start to bring in a bit more water. Start to bring in a little bit more of your workouts or increasing your intensity. Start doing things that are going to change you. Start doing that, right? Because everything you want is on the other side of fear. Make a move, take an action, because you're one decision away from a completely different life.